The appalling treatment of former Victorian Liberal MP Moira Deeming, who's now an independent, and her stunning $300,000 defamation victory over the state's Liberal leader John Pesutto have upended Victoria's political scene yet again. Deeming's moral, legal and political win should see her return triumphant to the Liberal Party room, and you'd think it's another nail in the coffin of the opposition leader's position. He says he'll soldier on, but Pesutto's poor judgment alone should disqualify him, and today he didn't even find it in his heart or his head to apologise to Deeming. We'll see how all that plays out. Pesutto seems to think he can tough it out, but I'll leave that for others to analyse over the hours, days and weeks to come. In fact, Moira Deeming will be on with Peter Credlin after this show. But I want to make another important point about this ruling, and that is this. Deeming's court victory and substantial damages are based on a complicated series of facts, but also on a fundamental defamatory imputation, and that is that it's a terrible slur to label someone a Nazi or a Nazi sympathiser. That was her claim, and it was upheld emphatically.
Not one Liberal Party value was honoured or furthered in Victoria by this relentless and remorseless campaign to discredit me and everybody who stood by me. But I was never going to let it go unchallenged in this state and under my Liberal Party logo that innocent women rallying against the destruction of every single common sense safeguard designed to protect them and their children could be attacked and scapegoated as Nazis and bigots.
Yeah, she was standing up for the rights of women at a public rally, and good on her for doing that. And she was smeared with being a Nazi or a neo-Nazi because some of those types turned up. It wasn't fair, and now she's received justice. So when it comes to the Nazi slur and what it means, it's worth going to the judgment where Justice O'Callaghan focused on it by referring to the unchallenged evidence of Liberal MP Richard Riordan, saying that an allegation of being a Nazi or Nazi sympathiser is one of the most serious allegations that can be made about a person. And it's like an allegation of being a murderer or a pedophile or a rapist. I think everyone I know in my personal and political circles would share that opinion. Those sorts of allegations never leave a person. Nobody wants anything to do with such a person. This was a cruel thing to be inflicted on Moira Deeming. Yeah, that is obviously true. We all get that. So well done to the judge for recognising this heinous slur and awarding an incredible $300,000 damages over a public spat between two political colleagues. Now I want to show you a worrying contrast to that. The leniency applied to a Sydney anti-Israel protester by a New South Wales criminal court yesterday. Here's 9 News.
The former boss of the Nomad restaurant has escaped conviction for displaying a swastika at a pro-Palestine rally in October. A magistrate handed Alan Yazbek a conditional release order, ruling he'd already paid a high price for his foolishness, but is no neo-Nazi or right-wing extremist.
I got it horribly wrong. I'm profoundly sorry. I hope the Jewish community can forgive me over time.
The 56-year-old was stood down from the business, which has been flooded with threatening letters since his arrest.
Wow, he lost his position at the restaurant and that's punishment enough. I think slurring supporters of Israel as Nazis is appalling. I think smearing a country established after the Holocaust, when it's defending itself against the largest mass slaughter of innocents since the Holocaust, as a nation of Nazis, is unthinkably evil and inflammatory. And I think that injecting this sort of misinformed hatred into our domestic political debate and the way it can inflame resentment and even provoke violence is far more dangerous than the nasty defamation of Moira Deeming. I certainly won't be eating at a Nomad restaurant ever again. And I think Alan Yazbek can consider himself an incredibly fortunate man. But But I just hope this doesn't reflect a broader leniency across our law and order system when it comes to anti-Semitism in our society. Branding people Nazis is appalling, and branding all Jews or all supporters of Israel as Nazis is either just as bad or even worse.